it's Dr. Stokes at Doc Mom MD, and today I'm a little bit more relaxed. I'm actually joining you from my bedroom instead of how I usually am at a desk. And the reason that I'm joining you from somewhere so comfortable and relaxing is because I had a family talk to me about not being able to get their teenager out of the bed. So usually I talk about going to sleep and how difficult that is for little kids, but today I just want to give my teenagers a little bit of love, more so my parents who need support with them. So first, this season has been crazy for everyone. Trying to learn how to balance life, not being able to be in all the activities that we're usually in, as well as going to school. Some kids are going part-time, some kids are still virtual. And because of that, we have seen so many mental health issues. So today is Mental Health Day, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to speak to that, as well as to speak to how we can encourage our teenagers. So first, the serious thing is your child in bed because they are too depressed, worried, stressed, anxious? Those are words that just in the last generation were not even openly discussed, or not enough attention was paid toward that. It was usually, oh, you're just overthinking things, or oh, you're not being a responsible person. But now we recognize how much mental health is affecting everyone's daily lives and how that actually can impact them with their performance in school, their interactions with family and friends, and ultimately how successful they will be as adults. If you sense that your child is more than just a moody teen like we normally hear, and you know that they're actually feeling down and haven't been themselves for months, please do not hesitate to give them the help that they need. So often parents try to just wipe things off or excuse things without putting forth the effort to get their child that support. So speaking of that support, having an amazing psychologist or therapist is a great little tool that you should take advantage of for your teens. Sometimes parents will say, oh, my kid talks to me, or oh, they don't talk. And then that can be an important issue to kind of figure out if they're not talking because they don't feel comfortable, or if they just need the right person to talk with. In my practice, I often will say, I prescribe for you therapy, because so often there's not a pill that takes care of everything. While there can be the need for that, a lot of times you just need that support and those tools to help, because especially the older that we get, the more we recognize how much more challenging that life can be. The second thing is they are just moody teens. A lot of times, they are not in their comfort zone. They want to do what they want to do. The whole social media era, as well as just being on devices, has just changed the game completely. So those of us who are a little bit older have to recognize that sometimes they may not be as connected to you as they are with your phones, but you have to give them a little bit of grace for that. Now, with that being said, regardless of your child's weight, or if there's the desire for it, we definitely recommend that they are getting enough exercise. So many times, if you have a kid who's an athlete, that's usually not an issue. But now everything is about, what you like to do, not necessarily what you need to do. And so the same way we put the importance on education or physical health, we have to remember that getting exercise and doing activity is a huge part of that. The third thing I would probably say is when we talk about kids and little future adults, how we can support them and how we can help them, is to help them kind of understand what a routine looks like. They always think about, okay, my important thing is either to go to school, to do my activity, possibly to work a job, and to come home and just be a teenager, to be able to relax and not to be too stressed. But what we'll see is that, it will manifest in, not necessarily taking care of themselves, eating very poorly, and then drinking a lot of either coffee, sugary drinks, or energy drinks that we know is not healthy for them. If you help a child to recognize what normal is by leading by example, so to speak, then it'll kind of show them a little bit more of what a balance is. I often talk about how influence is huge, but the most influence that you can possibly have is being in the home with someone who's doing the right thing on a daily basis. Now, if your child is addicted to their phone, as most of them are, you have to set boundaries of how when they should be on it, how often they should be on it, and recognizing the fact that most of us pay the bill. So if you cannot tell your child to get off of the phone, you need to tell them they need to pay the bill. Now, of course, I'm jokingly saying that a little bit, but we tell parents, if your kid will not get off the phone or they're up all night and can't get up for their lessons, then you just need to have like a no phone, a no Wi-Fi zone, like say at 10:30, 11 o'clock if it's a teenager. Yes, they need it a lot for their schoolwork, but a lot of times, it's just the texting and getting things done that they want to do for fun, watching YouTube all night, and we know what that rabbit hole will do. Unless you're watching Dr. Tashana Stokes' channel. You can watch that as much as you like to. And then just try to help your kid recognize what they think is important for the future. Sometimes children can be really overwhelmed with what's important for the right here and the right now, and not taking much time to think about what is my life going to look like even in the next year or in preparation for even like the next college or workforce, whatever that may be. There are so many things in life that we do that we don't necessarily want to do, but you just do it. And helping the kid to realize early on that it doesn't matter, how often they want to do things. It's just more about what you can do to make yourself a better person. Help your teens also to choose the right types of friends. That may sound a little counterintuitive now, but their friendship circle, we know in the adolescent phase, sometimes is more important than the parent circle, and helping them to choose the right types of people who make them feel good about themselves, who encourage them, who support them, where it's a positive type of interaction. That is one of the more important things to do to make sure that your teen is on the right track. So if you have those teens who just refuse to get out of bed, you should make family time, or consider making family time, exercise time, appropriate dinner time a part of your daily routine and habit. So you can say, I need you to do this, and this before you're able to just lay back down, and just make that a part of your household rules. Most of us have gotten used to setting rules and regulations for the home, and teenagers may do it begrudgingly, but as with anything else, once they get into the routine and the habit of doing that, they can actually join you and actually have a good time with the family, and may surprise you and decide to actually be a part of the team on a different level. I do want to also say be on high alert, though, for your teenager having other behaviors to cope with fatigue, depression, and stress. There are specific questions that we know to ask as providers, but every now and then we'll kind of be taken aback by what a teen is dealing with or the stressors that they're going with. And in that process, a lot of times we can be taken aback by the stressors that a teen may be going through. So making sure that you're looking for subtle signs, having a conversation where your teen is forced to look you in the eye, where you're sitting across from each other, where you have the time where it's like, okay, I'm not going to stress out, or I'm not going to allow myself to get too frustrated by what you say or too angry about what you say. This is your time to just be open and honest with me. That can help us to have better relationships with our teens, and also will encourage them to know that they have a voice outside of just their friends. So as always, I'd love for you to follow me at DocMomMD on Instagram and Twitter, or at Dr. Tashana Stokes on Facebook and YouTube. If we help our teens to make the better choices now, we know they will be productive adults, and the best is yet to come.